Hi, this is Amit Gupta. I have 20 years of experience in IT industry, and today I will be sharing the details of how and what things to be considered for developing a web project. So let me share my screen with you and show you what I will be discussing today. So today we'll be focusing on 7 key things you must consider for developing a web project. So when I speak to a lot of colleagues of mine, they most of the time have the challenge in understanding as to what is required to develop a web project. And if we look at clearly, the challenge comes around requirements gathering. So how do we do the requirements gathering? How do we understand what customer wants? And clearly define the scope of work. So basically, requirement gathering helps us in clearly defining the scope of work, know in advance the raw material needed to build a software. As you go and you build a particular dish, you need recipe. So if you have recipe in hand, then you can easily build a dish. Similarly, for a software development, if you know the raw material in advance, you can easily build a software. Requirement gathering also gives us a clear idea about the milestone to deliver the project so that we and the customer both know when to deliver this particular project. It also helps us in accurate and optimized estimates to develop a profitable project and a happy customer at the end. So let's see, the first thing which we would suggest that you need to understand your customer. And how do you understand a customer is you need to understand about the customer's organization. And for doing that, you can ask multiple questions to the customer. For example, what does the organization do? So we understand the core business of the customer before jumping onto a website development. If we understand what the organization do, what are their core services, what is the organization turnover or bottom line. So when I say organization's turnover bottom line, it actually helps us in determining how big the organization is. And we can always go and check what could be their requirement, whether they need a website worth 5,000 rupees or 5 lakh rupees. The idea you can get from the company's turnover and what is their expectations. Establishment year gives you an idea about how long the company is in existence, what is their vision and mission. So what does company wants to do in the longer run or in the shorter duration. Then you can also ask about unified selling proposition, why this company is different than any other company in the world and what is the unique thing about them. So this will help you in identifying on the website itself what is the unified selling proposition of the company, and you can sell the product accordingly. Products and services, this will help you in going more in deep insight into what kind of products or services the customer deals in and for what purpose the website is being developed. Promoter team info, this may be useful in case you want to display the company's promoter information or the team information. Sometimes some of the owners would like to showcase what they have done and their experience, and in that certain cases the promoter information or the team information will be useful to display on a website. Competitors, this is an important aspect to know. It is always good to know who's the competitor for your customer, because and customers would know about it. If they know, you need to get the details about the competitors, what kind of websites they have, and what work has been done on the websites. Then ultimately the contact details, landline, mobile, email addresses, etc. of the customer. This will be required on a contact us page. So overall, understanding your customer will help you in a lot of information gathering for the website. Okay. So next, let's move to the second point, which is the objective. So when you go out to a customer and you say you get a requirement that I need to build a website, it is a very open-ended thing because the website could be an e-commerce website, it could be an information website or whatever. Now, first of all, you need to understand the objective of the customer, why they want to build a website. For example, if you ask them what is the primary reason or a pain point which you want to address to build this website. So the customer might end up saying that everybody else has a website, but I do not have a website. So they are looking for a website first time to go out to public, and they would like to showcase their business. They may say that I want to sell certain products and services through internet. They may also say that they would like to brand their company over the internet because they have been working in a manual way. So that will actually give you an idea about what are the primary reasons or the pain points customer is facing at this point of time and why they would like to build a website. The second question is that what does that customer want to achieve by this development? So if you ask the customer what do they want to achieve ultimately by developing the website, they might answer that they would like to put it on a visiting card. They might like to showcase this website to their customers, or they might to take in inquiries by the customers, or they would like to sell their production services through the website. Or it could be a blog which they would like to write. If it's a writer, somebody on willing to write blogs through the website, they might like to have it there. It could be affiliate website, or there could be certain other reasons. But this will help you in pinning down what is the reason why the customer is looking for the development. Build a customer avatar of the target audience. That is, who is it expected to be target audience? This really helps in understanding who is the target customer audience of your customer, and whether it's the people within age 18 to 24, whether it's an old age group, whether it's an industry who's looking for that website, and how many users customer expect to use this development in next 1 to 3 years. This will help you in taking decisions on hosting, where to host, how many queries to address or inquiries to address at one point of time. Budget, it is very important to know what is client's budget. Sometimes if you ask client, they would ask a reverse question to you as to how much effort, money it will take to build a website. Now that's a very difficult question to answer initially, but I would recommend that you first of all try to understand the budget customer has in mind. And for doing that, you may ask what kind of website the customer is looking at, whether it's informative site, e-commerce site, blog website, or an event site or something. Then you can also check with customer if they have any target budget in mind. If they don't, or if they do not communicate this to you, it is better to provide some standard packages detailing what these services may include and what is the cost of these services to get a broad budget idea from the customer. Expectations and features. So normally when you ask a customer what they want to build, they might not know, but if you ask them what are the competitor sites you liked, they will be able to give you certain examples of the competitors and the features which they liked. They may also be able to tell you what features they did not like. You can also show some sample websites or template themes to them to agree on one particular theme which they liked, and to do your development based on that. The other features which in today's world, which are primarily needed for each and every website is, or expected is, sometimes mobile web, cross browser. When we say mobile web, your website is visible on a mobile as well. And you need to be very clear in knowing what the customer looks from it, because in today's world, most of the website world work on desktop as well as mobile. But is your customer looking for a different view on mobile? That is an important task to know to understand how it will impact your development effort. Cross browser, it's key to know that a lot of things didn't work on Safari. They might work on Chrome, Edge, or Firefox, but they might not work on Internet Explorer. So it is better to pin down what browsers you're working with. Social media integration is another key feature which customers expect these days. So it is better to know which social media integration they would like to do. And it is also important to know whether they already have a page or not, because that might be an additional work which you might need to do as part of this exercise. Third-party plugins, a lot of customers collect data through Zoho Forms and other services, or sometimes they uh, collect Google Analytics data or Facebook Pixel data. So you need to be pretty clear as to what data you need to collect and what information you need to put into your website. WhatsApp integration is another feature which you may provide your customer based on their need. Upload, download of certain forms of data or customized API could also be required. So you need to be aware of whether customer is looking for such a thing. Some customers explicitly look for video chat options or room integration. So it is an additional work which might come to you. So it's better to ask upfront. Uh, when you build a website is built in today's world from 500 rupees to 5 lakh rupees or even more, depending on what features customer want. So it is always good to let your customer know about all the paid features or services which might come along with website development. So what is covered in the basic cost and what additional cost comes through. For example, to my customers, if we are giving them a template based or theme based site, it generally doesn't cost much. However, when it comes to a designer requirement, because some of the customer would like to see things differently from their perspective, so we offer them a designer service where a UI UX designer visits the customer, understand their requirement, and build the design accordingly. So if that is one of the service you also provide, you can charge that separately to your customer or build it in your original package. Email requirements. A number of customers they need emails along with hosting services. So though the basic email comes free with the hosting provider, but there are certain limitations and the chances of spam and not authorized emails. So it is better to offer certain services, third-party services, in case customer is willing to pay for that. It could be G Suite, Microsoft, Zoho, GoDaddy, or any other service which you prefer. Domain name is generally we recommend to our customer that domain name is bought by customer and kept with them. However, you may also offer that additional service free to them, and or you can charge certain money for that. Then hosting services is depends on your development, whether it is Linux based, Windows based, or you want to keep the environment shared cloud or private cloud based on customer needs. And because the cost varies from shared hosting to private hosting significantly, it might impact your customer's budget. So it is a very important point to be checked. Backup and restore requirements. A lot of time customer assume that the website will be backed up by you and can be restored at any point of time. So it is better to communicate to them what are the charges which comes through for taking regular backup and what are their backup requirements and frequencies. Image and content, it takes most of the time to update the content or get the relevant images for any customer. So it is better to check with the customer if they already have image or content with them, or if they have they can provide you the uh, you can provide them options to purchase image services or content writing services. Otherwise, AMC, annual maintenance charges. Generally, this is a service which we provide to our customer to ensure that site is up and running. There are any version updates which are there. In case of any security breaches or something, we rectify those errors, and there are backup and recovery procedures available. However, we keep them separately with the change requests because most of the time customer assumes that the change requests are part of the AMC. So change request is something which where customer request for a change to a website. And though minor changes we might offer under AMC, however, if there are major changes like bulk upload of data or changing multiple images, etc., on an e-commerce site, then we charge for those services. So this is something which you need to be aware of and make your customer aware as well. SEO, SMO, and SMM. So search engine optimization, social media optimization, social media marketing are some key features which a lot of people provide along with the website. And these are the paid services because basic SEO you generally do at the time of developing the website. However, the other services come hand in hand. So it's an opportunity which you can ask from your customer if they're willing to have any social media marketing needs. Payment gateway integration is another thing. If people are looking for websites to accept payments, so there are multiple payment gateways available, which depending on customer choice and features, you can pick up the right payment gateway and provide that as a paid service. After accepting all the requirements, the challenge comes in a technology decision. Most of the customers would prefer to go by a particular technology if they've heard it from a colleague, friend, or based on whatever technology is available in the organization. So it is good to take customer preference, however, to evaluate whether that preference fits right for the development or not. Keeping customers' interest on top, I would recommend that you check the technology capability within your team first, and apart from that, use the established framework and environment to expedite the development. It is preferable to use secure IT practices and tools only. Do not just go for the cheap technology or cheap hosting services. Think about support and maintenance cost and your reputation while shortlisting technology. Take into consideration all the backup and restore costs, and always consider CIA, confidentiality, integrity, and availability of the application while taking a technology decision. Once you have started developing the software, it is better to look at the checklist before delivering the final product. The checklist will contain the testing for the functionality, where you need to perform a check on that all site pages should perform and agree and should function without fail. So, uh, website should function as it is desired to be functioning. Content, please ensure that all data, images, contact details, etc. are accurate and in line with customer requirements. It is better to give a draft version for customer to do a sign off. Uh, Please ensure that no test data, lorem ipsum, if anything is of that kind is kept on the content. UI UX is an important part. Just ensure that user interface experience is in line with agreed requirements. The application is flowing seamlessly, working on both mobile and web, and minimum clicks to reach the desired location or to make a sale. Speed site should take loading with not more than 2 to 3 seconds on desktop and should be optimized for images, contents, etc. uh, and other integrations. It should also work fast on mobiles, and you should always consider security. I suggest using OWASP principles to meet the site integrity. That's it. I think I've done the part, and in case you have any questions, please come back to me. Thanks a lot.